Hello guys, Sue Jerry speaking. Welcome to LJPCBM episode number 725. And today I'll be reacting to episode 4 of Jake's Happy and Nostalgia Show. Tyra Bunch, the puppeteer and actor who portrayed Trio, Barry the Maple House, Elmo's Down, Sesame Street, some boring duck on World, and so much more. So let's react to this beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On.
Hi, I'm Jake.
Oh. Let's just start over.
And welcome. Hi, I'm Jake. And welcome to the newest podcast on YouTube called Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where I interview people involved with good shows and more from our childhoods. We'll be sharing our favorite memories, from behind the scenes moments, and so much more. I'm your host, Jake Doubleboss, and welcome to this Happy Nostalgia Show episode.
Wow.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. I'm your host, Jake, and you see, almost every single episode we have co-host Chris Bixby and Matthew Johnson. Like every single episode that I said,
Wow.
How are you both?
We're good.
Good.
Very good.
Very awesome. Very
Very
awesome.
good.
Like we're always doing good at like literally every single episode. That's how excited it is and how we really are to the you know, not doing we need to say. But anyway, the last episode we've done, Kyle Nelson.
Yes.
Yes.
That was
Amazing.
it is
Wow.
for seeing his stories about some of them where we didn't even know about his stories as being BJ for Barney and Friends, and he was him for some tours and everything.
Wow.
And-
Where were the Wiggles?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because of the Barney's musical castle. Not Fernando.
With Fernando.
Yeah, and we talked about a little bit of Fernando too, and to the people who knows Wiggles and knows Barney, blah blah blah. But anyway, with no more chit chat that I don't really need from myself. Anyways, this guest we're gonna have for this episode he is a puppeteer and voice actor, I should say, for so many characters that
Wow.
like literally so many characters. But because for Pokemon,
Pokemon Evo.
Yeah, so stupid. Pokemon. Yeah. Sorry, I expect your opinion, Jake, and how you pronounce it, but yeah. Continue on.
Voiced Halucha and what Incineroar, I believe, right? Is that right? Yes. And someone else in Team Flare, I think.
and he was character for Blue House, and he also did a puppeteer or voice actor to Winslow and Riona from It's Big World. And I'm gonna get this information here because I honestly have no idea if some people even know this, but I'm thinking he did the narrator for World instead of HQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, lame, stupid World thing, but yeah, bits and pieces. Continue on.
When whoever
Yeah, that.
definitely credits, but not Tyler, which is strange. But and
With Between the Lions also, and the Book of Pooh.
Yeah, these two are awesome, my book. Excuse me. Continue on.
He did both of those, didn't
oh
he?
yeah,
Book of Pooh, Between the Lions.
I think so.
Mm.
But all of them that he did, and he
See
is
so much
now.
stuff.
He's Tyler Bunch. How are you doing?
Wow.
I'm good, and I'm very happy to be here with you guys. And I have
Yeah.
a
Awesome.
secret to tell you, Jake. The name you were trying to think of that you saw in the credits of Word World was H.D. Quinn.
Yeah,
Yeah, World, yeah. I'm not a fan. Sorry. Continue on.
that's what.
H.G. Quinn, yeah.
Oh well, I am H.D. Quinn. They're one and the same.
Ah.
It's
That makes
what we
sense.
call in the biz a pseudonym. So if you,
Like a
if you
stage
look up,
name or something like that.
yeah, basically, yeah. With Word World, uh, there was an agreement I had with the producers of Word World that my name would be attached as a producer because that's one of the things that I did. And since my name was already going to be in the credits as a producer, then we gave the credits that I was doing as a voice actor a different name.
That
Wow.
makes sense. That makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right there. And I'm glad that you said about like on Twitter or whatever that's you, because it's good for having the people that work for the show that has made made the admission of what it is instead of like people thought it's HG Quinn and that's a different person. Who the heck is that guy? But it's like it's you really as
Number one.
as a other name. But
My secret identity.
Or Batman.
the secret today. Anyway,
Well,
let's get this started. So, how do you start become a puppeteer or a voice actor? Do you think about doing it while you grow up, and or you think about just doing it for a lifetime, or just how did it all happen, and where are you now?
Well, for me, I mean, everybody's obviously got their own story, but for me, I started as a puppeteer first, at least professionally,
Wow.
just because of the way things fell out. But to answer your question, I've been told by family, even before I was aware of it, I used to like to kind of put on character voices and do funny characters for my toys and entertain my sister by making silly voices and doing accents and things like that. And when I decided that I was going to be an actor when I was around 14 years old,
still.
that kind of ability lent itself to certain kinds of acting. You become what's called a character actor, and you lean more toward kind of characters outside of your own skin or outside of what would normally be seen as what you would be cast as. And then when I moved to New York to be an actor on the musical theater stage, I had, during my college years, kind of found monitor puppetry or puppetry for television. And I'm sure you guys have had other people on your show that have talked about, like, puppetry for TV is a little bit different in that while you're working, you're watching a television monitor so that you see the image that the camera sees and therefore that the
Wow.
audience at home sees, so that whenever you're moving the puppet and you look down at the image, just like everyone else would at the TV, you can turn the puppet the right direction so it looks like what it's supposed to be looking at.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Continue. Well, I think what I was gonna say is I think Bruce touched upon that a little bit about looking
Right.
at the TV.
Oh, yeah,
and
because-
looking at
yeah,
the screen.
Yeah, that's actually our first episode, which was
Yeah, I think he talked about looking at the
voice actor
TV
too.
screen while he was
Yeah.
puppeteering. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
he
so
was
that.
Yeah.
Go for it, Jay.
okay, all right, no problem. I know he was he was actually a additional puppet for the to Kermit for the last scene of the 2011 Muppets movie. So
yeah.
that's
Awesome.
really awesome. Really awesome scene for the end of the movie.
This is a fun movie. It's fun to be part of.
Pretty awesome.
So that skill set, like learning how to and practicing doing, interesting voices and specific character voices, tied in with moving the puppet around for TV, the monitor style puppetry. That the two of those things together are what makes a really good puppet performer. But then being a good voice actor, because it's such a big part of being a puppeteer, if you're lucky enough that people start recognizing your work just as a voice actor and ask you to be part of things that they're doing in that arena, then you could start doing things like that. So
Wow.
I was a puppeteer first, and then the voice acting thing came afterwards.
Okay.
That's really
That's
awesome.
cool.
I know you. I think you. If I'm correct here, I think your first puppeteer on something is Sesame Street.
My big break, so to speak, the first professional job that I got in New York, was being part of Sesame Street.
Yeah.
When they would have really big episodes where they needed a lot of characters in the scene, they would need people outside of the normal regular cast. So I was one of the people who had sent a tape into the Jim Henson Company and got on their long list for when they needed lots of people. So my first 4 years of being able to do Sesame Street. I worked like maybe 10 or 11, 12 days,
Wow.
skipping around in those 4 years when they needed a lot of people. But then, yeah, my first character that was my own for a full-time job was for Bear in the Big Blue House.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Bear in the Big Blue House had an influence on all of us because we all all three of us grew up with Playhouse Disney.
Yes.
That was my childhood. Except for the later Playhouse Disney days for me, in my opinion. Sorry, I will grow up in the late 90s, early 2000s. Continue on.
Especially with Bear in the Big
I
Blue
agree
House
with
and
that.
the Wiggles and all the shows.
That's
So-
awesome.
Yeah. And that's crazy that after, what you did in Sesame Street, going to like Big Brother House, Book of Pooh, It's a Big World, so many other shows too. It's crazy. I know you definitely have a great experience of what you had for being in so much shows.
Yeah, I've been very, very lucky because once it's like anything else, like you see that a lot of the guys who play specific sports wind up hanging out together, and a lot of the guys who and gals who do other types of high profile jobs wind up hanging out together. Once you get a reputation for ideally being good at something, then you're one of the people that gets called at the very least to audition for whatever the new things are that come along. So yeah, it was my next big project for Sesame after Bear was a thing called Sesame Beginnings, which was for little kids, where I played Baby Cookie Monster, and that kind of got me on their radar again, so that when they needed more people to fill out their regular cast after I'd done, like you said, all those other things, the Between the Lions, and there were other pilots for things that shows that people tried to sell. Yep, and Pokemon happened.
Yeah, it's so lame and stupid. Continue on.
My first time was probably 2004.
Yeah. Let me search up Tower Bunch and see. Oh my god. You have got to be kidding me. He's supposed to be a puppeteer, not a Pokemon fan. Continue on.
Oh, dang. Well, X and Y, XYZ was a big part of my childhood because that was one
Oh,
of
and by the way, he was on Grand Theft Auto 5. If you watch this, Alex Paris. Continue on.
the Pokemon series that I grew up watching. And I love
really?
and it has always been my favorite ever since I saw it. Just with Ash Greninja has always been Ash Greninja is actually my phone screen. I don't know if you can see it, but that's
That's awesome. Yeah, the character that had the biggest impact on the storyline was I was the bad guy a couple of years ago, Lysander.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was fun to do, and actually, because I was doing a job for the Jim Henson Company in Las Vegas at the time, a lot of the lines that I recorded for Lysander I actually recorded in the closet of a hotel in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Mm.
So, and I bet doing Hawlucha was fun also.
Hawlucha was I guess I could say he was my first, and therefore kind of my favorite recurring character for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Hawlucha was because I got to come up with everything for him, which was really fun.
But his vocabulary is very limited though.
Well, they all are, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about being a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so lame and stupid. Continue on.
Very true. Very true.
Yes.
Anyway, so what's it like for playing a dad to one of the most popular Sesame Street characters? Like, basically, and more specifically, you played puppeteer voice, like whoever you did Elmo's dad for Sesame Street. How does it feel for doing the dad to Elmo for the show?
Well, luckily I kind of had a map for that one because the guy who originated the character was the first one to play it, Bill Beretta. He's very talented, and he kind of set a lot of what we call the tone for the character and how he and Elmo relate and how he relates to the world at large. So everything about Louis, Bill kind of invented, and I just got to kind of pick up and do things sort of imitating him. And then once I got comfortable, then I could kind of do things on my own. But at first, Louis was just part of what we call the philanthropic part of Sesame, the things that they do outside of the main show that's on TV. Louis was first about helping people who have issues at home, family issues, and they wrote stories about that. So it was just videos that they kind of gave away to help people learn about how to talk to their kids and stuff. So Louis always represented the way, the positive way that a dad and a kid should communicate. And then lately, obviously, with a lot of the troubles that have been going on in the world, Louis had more to say about how to help kids understand some of the things that people are mad about and some of the things that are going on. So there's been more important reasons for him to be having conversations with Elmo. So it's felt pretty good to be part of
Hello?
the stuff that's been going on nowadays.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about one of his other characters that have had a big impact on us is Dress Up Chest, because the company Blues Clues and Blues Room has had a big company
Wow. It was amazing. Yeah, Blue's Clues and Blue's Clues New. Yeah, that was amazing stuff. Continue on.
big like place in all three of us.
Yes.
That's awesome. So for those of you who don't know at home, obviously there was what we call a live action version, an all puppet version, except for Steve made an appearance. Actually, both of them did. Of the Blues Clues franchise called Blues Room, where Blue was actually a puppet, and there were other characters that were developed for that. And I played Dress Up Chest, which was the
dress up song will forever be stuck in my head.
Yeah, still, especially the whole Blues Room thing. Yeah, that kind of brunch me out type of thing as a kid. But now as an adult, I will still love it. And now on Paramount Plus. Continue on.
Don't apologize. It's great.
I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, it was. I remember that show very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's amazing. You can still do a voice that I heard from my ear, and it's so cool that the Blues Clues did Blues Clues was so popular that it did the sequel to the show, like Blues Room.
Reboot, sequel. It flip-flops between reboot and sequel.
Yeah. I'm not sure you know, Tyler, but Blues Clues actually did a reboot of the show, which is called Blues Clues and You.
Yes.
Right. And there's a new young man who's
Josh,
the one that talks to the
Joshua
camera.
Cruz. Yep.
Yeah, he's actually a really cool new host. And
Yeah.
Steven and some episodes of the reboot that Steven show was a part of some episodes, especially the Christmas episode in the pilot, the first episode of it. Oh my gosh. I'm just glad that the Blues Clues franchise still.
And still, even though it's a great experience, when earlier this month when I heard about the whole Bruce Prince pilot episode, yeah, as he mentioned, yes, I got a chance to look at it on Facebook, and it was great, and especially because I saw it on David Fowler's Facebook page, not the real David Fowler's Facebook page, but his David St. Dennis's Facebook account, which I met him in 2019. At first, I thought he was a Springcast member, but no, he was David Fowler all along. But we'll get to another story another time. But yeah, but like I said, David Fowler is told me that about Blues Clues. Yeah, and that's a show I'm gonna like to do some other time called LJPCBM's Childhood Memories, and that's something I can do with. And it's something coming soon. Yeah, And since Alex and David wanted to hit their own childhood memories, I'm able to do some of my own. You know, if you watch this, Alex and David, just for you. And of course, oh boy, what am I gonna do now? The pilot episodes have 3 type of things, and the third one what I saw was it was tagged by a friend, some friends of mine who David Prowse comment on it, and he got an idea for child memories on his head on my Friday show. If you watch my FWL series, watch this, David. This is for you. Great experience, by the way. Good job. Continue on.
Alive.
So if there was a need for dress up chest to return, would you return to do dress up chest?
Oh, of course we would. It was fun.
Yeah.
Show to do.
Yeah, especially the characters you've done for the shows. And probably the same reaction, you know, to the other shows that you may really, to be honest.
I'd have to make probably some new puppet for Bear, because I think that the Bear puppet in itself was destroyed, wasn't it? Like,
Or it deteriorated or something.
yeah,
I mean, all puppets in general. Well, I mean, if the materials that the puppets that we typically use are made of, that are used to make the puppets that we normally use, kind of just naturally deteriorate over time. And matter of fact, a lot of the hand puppets that we use that are made out of the soft foam, it's what we call toasty. They literally start to disintegrate into pieces and little tiny parts that look like toast crumbs. So we call them toasty. That foam, as a very sturdy but flexible and light material, is a lot easier for a puppeteer to be able to manipulate for hours at a time, because otherwise, you know, if you make it out of more durable things, it's heavier and it's just harder to use. So yeah, some of the foam in the original Bear, I'm sure, has deteriorated. He would have to go through it.
Yeah. Even though it's a great experience, by the way, I miss those original foams. You know, when it comes to this Bear and the Big Blue House, I just want to get back into that when it comes to these original Bear from Neil McNeil, which is a Bear in the Big Blue House in the time, which is my childhood thing. And I just want to get back to that in my concerts sometime in the future when my mom retires. If you watch this, Mom, it's for you. But at a time like this, Neil McNeil, I just want to get back to you on this one, okay? When you and I will be doing concerts sometime soon, I'm going to want to do something with Flash, Duff, and other heavy metal rock concerts. If you want me to, Neil, but and Brave Bear, if you wanted me to. Continue on.
A big makeover for him to be able to be used again.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah. On the subject of Bear, what was it like getting to play all those characters like Trilo and Pop and Doc Hogg, all those characters?
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say that's my favorite show that I've ever worked on. That besides the fact that it was where I learned the most about the puppetry part of things. I was very, very green, very new to it, and needed a lot of help getting better when I first started on that show. But, you know, like Trilo, for instance, I actually sort of invented his name, because when they were first talking about the show before we had shot any of the stuff in the studio, when they were dealing with the network, the Disney Channel, and telling them what the show was going to be, and sent the breakdown of the characters, his name was Rolio.
Oh, the original pilot episode Bear, and that one I never heard of. Continue on.
And
Oh wow.
it also changed at one point, I think, to Rolo. But the gentleman who was the creator animator of another show that was on the Disney Playhouse block in the mornings, PBJ
Wow.
Otter, had
Yeah, which is my
character
childhood favorite show as a kid. Continue on.
named Rolly on his show.
Rolly! Oh, yeah, Rolly, yeah. It was just coming to Disney Plus soon. Continue on.
he felt that the names were too close, so he let the Disney people know, the very important Disney officials know, that they needed to change the name. So the creator and the head writer suggested we all come up with a list of names that could happen. And when I auditioned for Trilo, when his name was Rolo, the kind of rolled R's and the L's and the O sounds were what I was basing how I made his voice. So when he would do his gargledygook language, it had a lot of those kind of rolly sounds in it. So I
mean, he kind of reminds me of this lemur from Bay Pig in the Sea. Continue on.
wanted to make sure that I kept the R sound and the E and the O. So on my list of names, they were all very similar, and that name Trilo was because he was, spending most of his time in the trees. I thought it would be cute if that name was, part what he eventually got saddled with. And luckily for me, both the head writer and the creator of the show picked that name. So I actually came up with Trilo's name.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Awesome.
Also, since we were talking about Sesame Street earlier, it's so awesome that Sesame Street is still going after.
I think it's on HBO Max
after 5 decades. It's so
on HBO Max.
Well, yeah, and HBO decided to delay that, and it's on PBS, believe it or not, for second runs. Continue on.
This is where it airs now, isn't it? Or does it? I don't really know.
It's even something as kids too. I don't know.
Oh, and by the way, it's on HBO. No, Cartoon. The Cartoon Network block. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jake. Continue on.
Now, isn't it? Or does it? I don't really know.
It's even for PBS kids too. I don't know. But I like mostly HBO Max.
Yeah.
So it's both. What happens is we make the shows. There's 26 new shows, and then 9 shows that are made of compiled material. So there's 26 things that are made that are all new, and then 9 shows that are pieces and parts of those, and some pieces and parts from shows of the past that are kind of on a theme. And then all those shows are released first on HBO Max. And then 9 months later, those same episodes move to PBS.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. In Sesame Street too, that's a show that we all definitely grew up with. Show that's
Same
been
here.
around for generations.
Not as much me as them two. Them two are more. I really wasn't into Sesame Street that much as a kid.
Same here.
You're forgiven.
Well, I like the way you said it. Anyway, yeah, it's so amazing that Sesame Street still going, just so much years and still going on.
Still going strong.
I don't know if not a lot of shows that we know of that be more longer than Sesame Street. Okay, I know Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was very close to that point.
I was like,
yeah.
Hadn't the Simpsons gone on for longer, or has it not?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
According to The Simpsons, yes, it is going on, Jake. So, and according to the news now, it's been on for 32 seasons. Let me check Wikipedia and see. And 36 or at least 50, yes. And as of 2018, yes. And it's still going on since December 1989. So I think you're wrong about this, Jake. It's still alive for 32 seasons, I believe. Yeah, 32 seasons. Continue on.
Doesn't? Yeah.
No,
not yet.
It's gone on for a long
And-
time.
Yeah.
And I know,
Yeah, Sesame Street's definitely the longest running, I'd say, as far as children's shows.
Yeah, Sesame Street. Yeah, it's been on for 52 seasons. 51 seasons, but 52nd coming this fall. But of course, as I'm taping this, which is September 18th, they're coming out with the 52nd season. but of course, 52 seasons, and it came out on November 10th, 1969. Continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I know
only
that.
the Tonight Show's been on longer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know that Mr. Watch Name was either very close to either 30s or a little few years after the 40 years of Mr. Watch Name. That's how long it is probably. Okay, I'm gonna say this before this right here, Chris, is this gonna be like cut or so? See, I saw at the time there's gonna be remaining meeting time for 4 minutes 30 seconds. No worries, I'm going to keep on recording.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
Because
This is the only time that you mentioned it.
because I'm
Yeah.
going to I'm going to put the footage and then we can keep on recording again. Anyways, so how does it feel for like being that much characters for much shows? Like how does it feel for like be part of it? Is it how really love you are, or is it just like how much talent do you give to it that you in so much shows?
Well, everything that I'm a part of, obviously, I always want to try and, do my best to make sure that I'm helping to make it the best thing that it can be. Like whatever my ideas are that could maybe make it funnier or make it more entertaining or make the lessons come across better. Luckily, most of the people that I work with are very receptive, and it's kind of a team effort to make whatever the thing is. So almost everything, I'm very lucky that almost everything I've been a part of, I've really enjoyed, helping to make it. And I used to make a rule with myself that I wanted to make sure that all of my characters sounded completely different and none of them sounded like each other. And I did pretty good about that for a while. And then after a while, you just run out. There's just only so many one person can do.
Wow.
Yeah, because I noticed with like Trilo and Riona from It's a Big Big World, they both have like the same voice.
Yeah, very very close. The only thing that's different is their kind of attitude about the world, and there's Riona tries harder for you to understand what she's saying.
Yes.
It's really understandable from that. Before I'm going to the next question, all I'm gonna say is I'm glad that I'm just grew up with Bear and Snow, because those two was just such amazing main characters for the show. Like Barney's kind of like the same, it's kind of the same personality to Snow and Bear. That's how really personality they really are. It's close to Barney's personality.
So
if you know Barney,
and rarely see them get mad or get sad or anything.
Right.
Yeah, they just like so positive. Like every single word you really even said to begin with. Honestly, that's how
I have a bit of a question. JT, continue.
That's how a good positive that they really are, which I'm really grateful. I hope that more characters like that will be like that in more later future kid shows like that.
I agree. It's very very wholesome, all of them. And I think whether it was intentional or not, they all kind of sound like and relate to the world like Fred Rogers did. So he kind of set the tone that a lot of those characters follow, which is cool.
Yeah.
So my question is, how is it working with Noel? Was it fun?
He is such a jerk. No, I'm kidding. He's awesome. Noel, he's a pretty amazing performer on all fronts, because not only do you, the biggest thing we try to say when we're doing puppetry, or at least I try to do when I'm performing a puppet, is I want you to see when the puppet is thinking, not just expressing happiness or sadness or whatever, but to be able to not only tell when the puppet actually looks like it's thinking, but even what it's thinking. And Noel's really good at helping you completely believe in the emotional and intellectual presence of the character. You really can see Bear. Noel really helps the audience and therefore helps Bear relate to the audience so specifically that you know when Bear is thinking, you know what he's feeling, even when he doesn't say a word. Plus, just the stamina, because he has to be inside that thing for hours and hours in any given day. And
you didn't have to be inside anything, and
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Man.
And it's
you just had a puppet, a regular puppet. He had the big tall puppet.
exactly. And it's a lot of work, and he does it very, very well and makes it look very easy. So it's impressive.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
awesome.
Now, did you do like any full body like characters?
I have done a couple. There was a character that I was supposed to do for a series for the Jim Henson Company that never went anywhere. He was a big lion. But then I've also been in Thog a few times, who's the really, really tall, big blue guy that's part of the Muppets.
Yeah, I remember him.
Oh wow.
You were in the Muppet. You were him in the Muppets movie, weren't you?
Yep.
Yep.
One for Disney in 2011, and then
one that
Wow.
the one that
Bruce
As I mentioned in the reaction videos, back in Jake's Having Nostalgia Show LJPCBM episodes. Continue on.
Did you
Exactly.
Do you remember working with Bruce?
oh, of course, yeah, we worked together a couple times. Yeah,
Very awesome.
he's a very, very
Yes.
talented guy. But
I know
think-
he's a really nice guy too.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. The character that I was in the most, probably, I for a short while was the mascot for the New York Mets, Mr. Met.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Not even a TV character, just a mascot.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Is there any moments that you have throughout your career that you just like felt like so like that I'm glad that to be what you're doing? Like you just basically felt touched of what you're doing and what people saying about your talent and everything. That's if you know what I mean what I'm saying.
Of course. Well, again, I always felt everything we were doing with Bear in the Big Blue House was really, really special. It was just a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
And
It is.
really great message, and the way that it dealt with all kinds of different subjects, and the way it communicated with kids was just really, really great. And then I can also say I felt that way pretty strongly about what I was saying earlier about some of the things that we've done with Louis and Elmo, with Elmo's father and Elmo himself, dealing with some of the stressful issues that society at large has been dealing with, and what we've been able to do with kind of putting positive messages into the world with those two has been really, really great. But really been happy to be part of it.
Really awesome.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
I can imagine what the experience was like for you guys getting to work on such a wonderful show that's
Very
touched
true.
the lives of many people. And and about that, like Bear in the Big Blue House dealt with like all sorts of different like things. Do you have like a favorite episode of Bear, or
There's an episode I really remember strongly and fondly because it was one of the first times I remember a show dealing with sort of for kids that age, sort of this feminism. Is this episode You Go Ojo, where Ojo had decided she wanted to do things regardless of whether girls were supposed to do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And just the message of that show was very strong, and also when we dealt with the episode that was written after 9/11, which was when there was a storm, a tornado that went through Woodland Valley, and people's homes being destroyed, and that episode was written literally because of and in response to 9/11, because when 9/11 happened,
that was 2 decades ago, and as I said, 2 responded videos. One was a 9/11 video on my YouTube channel, and the other one is a responsive video on Lan Vergara's YouTube channel on Home Cooked Streamcast on 9/11 / talks about dogs on the Home Cooked Foodcast, now formerly known as Hardcore Streamcast, you know what I'm talking about. I said that as a 6-year-old looking at 9/11, I'm just freaking out like, holy smoke, holy crap. Excuse me, but it was the Twin Towers destroying this thing. I was like freaking out like, does this ever happen? I wish 9/11 should not exist in this point. So that's why that was my first reactions to 9/11 at that point. But anyway, let's continue on.
Morning. I was heading into the city on a train because we were supposed to start reading the first scripts of season 4, and we were shooting season 4 of Bear in the Big Blue House at studios on Chelsea Piers in lower Manhattan, sort of midtown Manhattan. And we couldn't go to work for 2 weeks because they anticipated that they were going to need to use the places where we shot for part of the cleanup and part of the rescue efforts. And we were all so emotionally distraught because of everything that had gone on. Everybody sort of rallied, and the creator and the writers created this whole new 2-part episode that hadn't existed about helping people deal with tragedy like that. And it was a pretty important episode, and technically I think it was 2 episodes. And it was one of those times where, again, very happy to be part of something that was very immediately speaking to something that was affecting a lot of people, and to be able to use that platform and the art form to kind of help people was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I remember that episode too. That was the one with the library and Bear meets like 2 possums.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Now Matthew and Jake probably don't know this, but I saw somewhere that you actually wrote some songs for Bear.
Pretty much any time the characters rapped in the series Bear in the Big Blue House, I wrote the lyrics.
Yeah, I remember. No, you wrote one of those was Otter Love, right?
Right.
The ones that you wrote. Yeah, that's a great song.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've had a couple people tell me that like they started listening to that song like with their other dance mix stuff just because they liked it so much. It's kind of fun.
Wow. Awesome. I know that I know Bear and Bonnie was a part of the We Are Family music video because of the
it's part of my there's this whole Born Jokes episode of Life of Maury Taylor video, and this is my very first video I've done back in 2007, Life of Maury Taylor, and it was based off of the Born Jokes that I made. And the end of the video was We Are a Family, Bear, Bonnie, Bear, and Big Bird. Yeah, it was so amazing to end off the video with this whole hooray! Oh God, shut up! But I love that scene with this whole the post-credit scene. Yeah, I love that scene. From the nostalgia critic. And yeah. I know some of you hate Nostalgia Critic now, but for me, I love Nostalgia Critic. Sorry, guys. Continue on. My keyboard. Hurts me really bad. Continue on.
For 9/11. Do you know Bonnie? Speak of.
I mean, I met him because of that. I met the performer that was in Super. Matter of fact, they were talking about.
Was it Carrie? Would it have been Carrie, or would it? Who would it have been?
Right. African American gentleman.
That would be
David Joyner.
That would be David Joyner.
David Joyner.
Yeah.
And then later on, like in 2002, 2010, when the show ends, that's Kerry Simpson.
Yes.
That was David Joyner that was doing that.
Yes.
Yep, and he also, and speaking of Kerry Simpson, he made a podcast named Purple Rose Podcast, and is actually on to 75 episodes right now, which
by the way, I did react to all 75, with the exception of the fact that he's done all 81. I haven't done React to 76 and 81 yet. And it's part of the LJ React role. Continue on.
It's really amazing.
We're only on.
I think you probably like the podcast, to be honest, Gary.
Yeah, Noel was actually one of the people who was on that.
Yeah.
Which I reacted to on episode 4 and 18 of LJ Reacts. Continue on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Okay.
Oh, and real quick, I want to say we're hopeful because there's a petition that's going around that's like huge right now to get.
You're on Disney Plus.
Yeah, to get Bear in the Big Blue House on
That'd be
Disney
great.
Plus.
Yes,
Disney's
exactly.
not as yet to put it on their.
Yeah. I agree with Mitchell Hill on this one, but it just the thing is, I just want to sign the petition on this one. Yeah, and I agree with Mitch on this point. If you watch this Mitchell Hill, this is for you. Continue on.
Who's on there, but
Book of Pooh,
no
yes. No Bear in the Big Blue House, yeah. I've watched a whole series of Out of the Box on here. It was great, but no bear. No Wally Polioli until September 27th, which is good news. No, I didn't see PBAJR anywhere at all. But that's a whole different story. No, I didn't see no any show that I like. No, nothing. Just Hey Guitar Heroes I was on Disney Plus. Not sure how many months ago. No JoJo Circus was another one of those shows. No, nothing. But anyway, let's continue on.
House.
I think Book of Pooh's how I got Disney Plus because of Book of Pooh, because of Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Really.
But Bear in the Big Blue House is pretty popular too, Jakey.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you do something for We Are Family music video?
Well, yes, we did a couple things because I was at that time both part of the Between the Lions crew and the Bear crew. I think
that's really cool.
Was it Sesame Street a part of We Are Family, or was it?
Yeah, I think so. I think some characters. I know I think Emma was a part of that too. I think.
Yes, and Big Bird too. Big Bird and Elmo.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, Carol Spinney. Yeah, I agree with that. Continue on.
Very cool. That's really cool. All of them are part of it, and other characters too. It's really awesome. I know We Are Family music video is such really fun to work with, and for Tree and Lions to be collabing with the other, some
With
other
Bear
shows.
and
so-
Barney and
It's so
Sesame
amazing.
Street.
Zoom and all those
Zoom,
shows.
For
Yeah, SpongeBob, Out of the Box. Proud from my childhood show. I'm not into a Magic School Bus. That's one of the shows I don't like. It's part of the We Are Family video. That is so boring. What else is there? I gotta have a We Are Family custom video in here on Elgin style coming soon. But that's just me. Continue on.
To go Between the Lions and Sesame Street, which are on PBS Kids, to collab with something like Bear in the Big Blue House that was on Playhouse Disney.
Yeah.
2 different networks.
Yeah. So that. Oh yeah, that I remember that. I get what I'm saying. Thanks to you, Christopher Surf for making We Are Family. I know he's also creator of Between the Lions as well.
Yeah.
So that's a really genuine guy who has really, really cool ideas that people love so much from that show and We Are Family. So I'm sorry if it's going to be a tough question to make because you did so much characters, but do you have a favorite character that you just like to do the voice and puppeteering all the time? Like, is there a character you just want to do him the most, or voice the character the most?
Again, I have the fondest memories of Trilo, and I really enjoyed performing Doc Hogg. And of course, right now, the things that we've been able to do with Louie have been amazing. The character I had the most fun performing, in general, because it was kind of a no holds barred thing. I did a a mascot for Air New Zealand, the airlines out of New Zealand. His name was Rico, and the thing about Rico, they were trying to advertise these seats that they had invented in order to have a more affordable yet comfortable class of airline travel, because so many people were going to New Zealand to check out the places where Lord of the Rings was shot. So
Lord of the Rings is awesome. Continue on.
More people using their planes, and they wanted to be able to have something that wasn't this tight little economy seat and wasn't so expensive as first class. They literally wanted something in between. And so they invented their own seats. And the character that they invented to kind of advertise that was this odd, you couldn't tell what he was, whether he was like a raccoon or a squirrel or a...
I think of Rico, I think of like a bird that seems like some kind of bird.
Yeah, like he's all kinds of weird, and they wanted to have this weird accent that you... They wanted him to have this weird accent that you couldn't place, so he had to not sound like he was from anywhere specific. He's just this weird creature that just likes to fly in planes. And the big thing about him was that he was, you guys, I'm sure you know the term, like innuendo or malapropism. Yeah, where you say things that have a double meaning. And with Rico, he always accidentally made jokes that were like kind of adult jokes. Every time he opened his mouth, he would accidentally use the wrong words, and it made it sound like he was saying something dirty every time he talked. He never was trying to be
like a brown raccoon. He does look like a raccoon.
Like a raccoon with ridiculous
with a purple like vest suit. What?
Yeah, he's really weird. And I got to do him for almost 2 years. We did all kinds of different videos, and I got to be in videos with David Hasselhoff and Lindsay Lohan. I co-wrote.
Yes.
I co-wrote a rap and performed it with Snoop Dogg.
Wow.
I got to do all this really fun stuff.
I see that.
With him.
And it was made at the Jim Henson Creature Shop.
Yeah, they designed and built him. Yeah.
And yeah, that's really awesome that you really like so many characters that you mentioned, like the question I said, and then especially it's really cool that the way you did like the New Zealand being mascot performer, that's really awesome. Like for being the character, it's really enjoyable to do.
Yes.
Is there any stuff that you have around you that you want to show? Like photos or plushes that you actually have?
Or any kind of like memorabilia that you got from like when the show was done,
or just shows that you have. What is that?
That's the Emmy Award I won for Word World.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
So lame. Whoa, yeah. It should start to be a how should I describe this? I can't remember the word. It's probably because it's probably a I have to type this in real quick. It's start with S, but it's probably the worst show I ever seen in my life. Not Emmy, so sorry, but yeah. But for same with the Emoji Movie, but the difference, which I love. I'm sorry, but it let me check here. It won. It's Raspberry. Okay, it should win the Raspberry Award, not the Emmy Award. Continue on.
Goodness,
That
wow.
is so cool.
You want an Emmy for it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's your experience for being narrated for World War anyway?
Word World was a lot of fun because with that one, the reason I was even hooked up with it to begin with is the guy who invented the show, Don Moody, he came up with the idea for the toys first. And the basic concept is, here's a toy with magnets in it, and these letters, when you put them together, because of the way the letters are drawn, actually look like the thing that the word spells. So the letters in train, when you have this toy and it's little plushy pieces like a T and an R, they have magnets in them, and they only go together a certain way. But when those letters, because they look so specifically like the thing, are together, you see that the word train is a train. And
Wow.
duck, the word duck, D-U-C-K, actually looks like a duck. And kids playing with these toys immediately could pick up how to spell the word, because
Oh wow, that's really amazing.
So
is
friggin' lame. Continue.
cat. That's what it is, right? And his thought was he wanted to make a show to kind of support the selling of the toys and the getting kids to learn in this sort of osmosis kind of way how to spell words. And at the time, obviously, as has always been, Sesame Street's been kind of the tried and true, this is the most popular show for the age range he was going for. He thought his show should be puppets. And somehow, through a friend of mine, his name's Aaron Waiton, Aaron said, I know a guy who does puppets, and I went and met him. And he ordered oversized versions of his toys from China, and I turned them into puppets, and we shot a video. And then he used that video to get funding, but then it became very clear that the puppets and having the puppets turn into things was just going to be so expensive that it made more sense for it to be animation. So over the next 7 years, he tried to get the show made with different people, and eventually found some co-producing partners in Canada, and was able to get the show made. And because of the deals he made with them, the kind of only thing left for me, even though I kind of helped him develop the show and the characters, was to be part of the voice cast. Mm-hmm. So I became the narrator of the show, and then I also performed the voice of the character Dog, and Duck, and Ant, and Cow.
Very cool characters.
Yeah,
and
blah, blah, blah. Continue on.
I can't remember the other ones, but there were a lot. There were a lot.
You actually know how much characters there is.
Is that video ever gonna see the light of day that y'all filmed with the puppets?
No, with the puppets, it's out there somewhere. I'm sure he's got a copy of it. I should make him upload it.
That's cool.
But
Yeah,
I actually got.
Yeah, that's really interesting what you've done for the World, like you mentioned. So that's really.
How long was the video? Was it like a 40-minute video or a 30?
It was like it was made to look like there were several episodes that had been shot, and there was just, that we were doing scenes from different storylines. So it looked like
just filmed it in one go.
Right. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I forgot to put it around for this interview, but I actually have a world DVD, which I think is called like moving. Like it's kind of like moving or glue or something that's kind of like related to that. I forgot, but yeah, I have a world DVD, and so that's really cool. Anyway, so is there any favorite song that you know from Barry Brew House? Okay, those shows I'm gonna mention. Band Paper House, Pacific World, The Book of Pooh. What those 4 shows? Do you have a favorite song from those 4 shows?
There's a song that I sing a lot from the Book of Pooh, just because it pops into my head. There's an episode where a Brussels sprout falls into the book, and because of the size of it, it winds up being huge. It's this big.
I think I recognize it.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
I think I recognize it. Speaking of the Book of Pooh, actually we watched the full series of the Book of Pooh on Disney Plus. And it's actually
I haven't saw Book of Pooh yet, but I'll get a chance to do it after Behind the Music, Beavis and Butthead, and Do America and SpongeBob Run. But that's just me. Continue on.
And it's a really cool series.
Yes, it
You got
is.
a lot of time on your hands. That's a lot of shows.
A lot of shows, yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But Tinker was very energetic, so how was it doing that?
But I did, however, watch as a kid on Playhouse Disney. Continue on.
Well, that was very interesting because, again, with that show, when you're watching it, you got to imagine that behind every character, there's 3 puppeteers wearing green smocks.
Green screen, because it's going to be green screens. You have to wear
Exactly.
it. Otherwise, you're gonna
show up in the video in the episode.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A floating person or a floating head. maybe.
I know Noah McNeil is probably a part of that show too, as a puppet.
Yes.
What did he do?
He was the core performer for Rabbit.
Wow.
I
Really
know.
cool character. And I
I
know.
know Peter was also a part of that.
Peter was the core
He
performer
did
for
Pooh, didn't he?
Pooh. Yes, he did.
Yep, and it's so cool that
3 bear performers were together in another playoff Disney show. So
yeah, which is good.
Wow.
What I forgot too. The voice the actual like voices of the Winnie the Pooh to be a part of the Book of Pooh is really cool.
Majority, yeah.
Yeah, and it's very interesting that the guy Winnie the Pooh movie recently, like a couple years ago, which is called
Christopher Robin, yeah.
Christopher Robin.
Yeah, Christopher Robin. If you watch this remix for you, and yeah, go ahead, pin the tail of the donkey. This is one, and it never gets old. And if you watch this remix, yeah, you know this never gets old. This joke, that from Donkey Eeyore, and you know that never gets old. It's a PG rated. I love that movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I will get to that on Disney Plus. But that's just me. I got a Blu-ray copy in the house, but continue on.
But if you guys didn't watch a movie, I'm only gonna say this: the movie is really cool.
I haven't seen it yet either. I haven't gotten around to see
Yeah,
it.
but yeah, thank goodness I said this because
I saw it in theaters. It was really good.
yeah, I saw it in
never got to
theaters.
see it when it
Yeah,
came out.
that neither is Winnie the Pooh in 2011, but I'll get to that in a few moments. But continue on.
So I need to watch it.
It's actually a really cool movie.
Mhm.
Is there anything that it's the easiest and hardest thing that I've done to try and make a voice to, or like to a puppeteer? Like what I'm saying, like is there like an easiest or to do or hardest thing or like hardest
Like,
thing to do?
are you asking him if there was a harder, what was his hardest voice to do? Is that what you're asking?
I think just like in general, like easiest part of doing what you do or hardest
Yeah.
part, you know.
Yeah.
I see.
Basically.
Excuse me.
Obviously, the more you get to know a character, the easier it is to tap into it and improvise as that character and stuff. Like for instance, again, like I was just describing the Book of Pooh, how there's in any shot there's at least 2 characters, so that means that there's at least 6 puppeteers that you can't see, 3 on each character that kind of have to act in sync. They all have to, the main guy's moving the body and the head, and another person is moving the arms, and another person is moving the feet, and we all have to move as one being. We all have to make that thing look like it's moving by itself. And so
Wow.
the more you get kind of in tune with each other and predict what the other ones are going to do, and how the puppet needs to move, so that you don't have to talk about it anymore. You just do it. It's a really cool. It's like being part of a really good band or something. You all just know how to groove with each other. So being able to consistently do something is pretty awesome. But then I just really like creative problem solving. That's what TV, and most specifically puppets for TV, are. You're always trying to solve the problem of making this thing look like it's alive and look like it's actually picking up something when it doesn't really have fingers, and look like it's actually talking on a phone when it doesn't really have a voice. The voice is coming from somewhere else. Just the idea that every day we come in, we have to invent a way to do something, and then do it till we get it right a couple times, and then do all of that again and come up with a whole new way to do the next thing we have to do. Like on Book of Pooh, we had to make Tigger look like he was juggling. We had to make a puppet look like he was juggling.
Well,
real life.
Like to be honest, I feel like for you and the other puppeteers do Tigger, like really have fun to do Tigger because of how really
energetic he is.
Yeah.
Honestly,
He's like bouncing around everywhere.
like really, I'm thinking he's the most energetic Winnie the Pooh character ever.
And then
That's
Eeyore's
how-
the
that's how
opposite.
he really
He's just
is.
depressed.
Wait, what, Matthew?
I said Eeyore's the complete opposite. Eeyore's just depressed.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, and what's funny is that like when with all of that stuff, we have to, gravity's doesn't really affect a puppet in the same way it does a human. Like we have to make it look like the arms are are flapping and that the legs are bouncing when they're
And the
supposed to
tail
bounce.
is because he bounces on his tail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So all of that means that we're all, technically there's 4 of us when there's somebody doing the tail. We're all moving at the same time. So in order to make it look real, sometimes they have to put a little bit of weight on the puppet, which means I have to lift from his head even harder, stronger. So when we were shooting the show, my right arm was about twice the size that it is now because my forearm was always working so hard for almost a year shooting the 2 seasons of the show. It was like I was working out.
I'm farted. Excuse me. Continue on.
But only like this side of my body, like every day.
Oh, wow.
So, Jake, all right, hold on. We're gonna have to edit this part out, but Jakey, the meeting time is at 10 minutes.
Yes, I press upgrade.
If we don't forget.
Okay. I press upgrade, and it's still that. So let's just. But thank goodness.
I'll just go with the flow.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness I don't have much time for. But I don't really have much questions. But if you guys want to.
All right, hold on. I do have something. So, the recent series of Pokemon Journeys.
No, Pokemon's so stupid. Continue on.
Did you return to voice Incineroar for that? Because I know they've been. You did. Oh,
yep.
Did you voice any Hawluchas in there, or anything, or was Hawlucha not in the series? Because I haven't gotten very far. Because I know they went to Alola, so that's why you returned to voice Incineroar. So
he may make a 1 episode appearance.
Because I know there's more coming very soon.
Yeah, I think it's possible. You might see him for a short second.
Ash just has a bunch of Pokemon. He just doesn't know what to do with them. He catches like 100 Pokemon every day. So
yeah. So anyway, before the last question, I'm gonna give. Well, unless you have more questions to both of you. Well, me right now. I'm going to do this to the fans. Can you like voice the characters of the Boogapoo, Big Bro House, and the Spittle World that you just get away with the voice?
Throw in the Hawlucha voice too, just for fun.
Well, I can do pretty much anybody, except the Pokemon people will not allow us to do the voices of those characters.
Thank God.
Off screen.
Right, because isn't there like a contract and
darn
that one? Yeah, I think it's the same
standard?
for like Sesame Street people too.
No, so we could like the Muppets and Sesame Street people. Sesame Street and the Muppets are a little more forgiving about it because they're comfortable with us
I guess
being
Pokemon
their
just like
characters.
Well, and also Pokemon is an international thing.
And it's like a huge, like really huge
It's originated
franchise.
in Japan, so
Yeah,
it's
true.
big.
And also,
Yeah, and the main reason why, because Pokemon which I hate now, was owned by the Pokemon Company and by Nintendo. And yes, I was gonna tell you this. They Smosh, when they got sued by copyright from lip singing the Pokemon theme song, which I hated the most. Which nowadays, back then I used to love it, but now I hate it. At a time like this, the lip sync video was the best one, better than the original one. That was better. But the lip sync copyright was copyrighted by the Pokemon Company. The original and Smosh was like what got a copyright claim for some reason. I'm like, Smosh, yeah, and then another one I just saw from Childhood Throwback, and for some reason, Pokemon first movie review from Childhood Throwback episode got a copyright strike, and I'm like, Mr. Cool, really? Continue on.
So like I know, Chris, I feel like Dragon Tales probably kind of that too, because I remember one of the characters who wants to do a voice.
Oh, and yes, Dragon Tales. Yeah, speaking of that show, yeah, I used to hate it now back then. Well, I love it back then. It's just at the time, Lucas, a cool guy, wanted me to keep not branching out with the show anymore. So, why just Lucas, a cool guy, thank you for the opportunity to bring me not hate the show anymore. So thank you for that. Continue on.
That can't do the character voice or something because of the reasons that's happens to the show, whatever. Or I probably want.
No, that's probably something to do with PBS.
So you can't even do Lysander. It's not just a Pokemon. It's the Lysander too. Darn it.
Not with being labeled as such, right? I'm theoretically not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That
we don't want to get you in trouble, so.
Yeah, right. I mean, obviously, I did Trilo earlier. I did Trilo, and then there's Pop. You know, I was picking Pop. Hey, Bear, how you doing? You gay? And then, of course, Doc Hall.
All things can make us happy. That's why it's happy right now.
Yeah.
How much we're going to the shows.
One of the things about Mitchell Kriegman, the gentleman who started the Bear in the Big Blue House, he used to make fun of how much Doc Hall talked. Because Doc Hall just doesn't shut up. He just likes to talk. Talk and talk and talk. Anyway. Who else can we do? And of course,
Winslow and we don't know.
Oh, Winslow, right. Yeah. Man, I missed that. She was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day in the Word World.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Your narrating voice is literally on point. It's still on point.
Try not to screw the mic so much.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
I will admit, I didn't, because I grew up with Word World a lot. I didn't even know that was you doing the narrator and all those voices. Because I only knew you as like a puppeteer. I didn't know you did like
when you're younger kid, you don't register like sometimes depending on how young you are, you don't register that there's voices also.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch the videos of the show now, then you'll know. Because this is Duck here. And of course, the dog and all that.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. All right, finally, well, if you want to do any Pokemon characters, if you voice, I don't know. But
I don't know. I don't think he voiced any.
I think the Bookapoo characters, as far as voices, were they're the people who've been voicing them for like years.
Like the original Tigger.
I just know it's not.
Did he voice anyone on It's Big Big World or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He did Winslow.
But not
one of the twin monkeys.
If you want to go, we don't know right now.
I know you did a little dress up chest, but do you want to do it again?
Oh yes.
Dress up time. It's been so wonderful being with you all.
Wow.
That's so amazing.
That's awesome.
Sounds like Barry's voice. Continue on.
That's
so awesome. And finally, the little sloth of the Big World.
Yeah, that does sound like a trio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lemur from Bay Pig in the City voice difference. Continue on.
Yes. Yeah, we both got Snook.
Yeah, we got it. Here. Alright.
Can you do Elmo's dad?
Oh, yes!
Oh.
Yes.
Of course. Well, hold on now. Y'all should know, Elmo's father, Louis, is based on Bill Beretta's impersonation of Louis Prima. That's where that comes from.
That's where the name.
So he sounds like he's from New Orleans. Hey, son, how are you today?
Wow.
I must say, so I'm so glad we got actually such mutual parents to be here, but it's just so amazing.
Wow. Let me check Wikipedia and see before I wrap things up. And Elmo's dad. See if it's still voiced by someone else. Louis, Wikipedia, Muppet Wiki. Oh, it's still voiced by Bill, but it's not. It's Tyra Budge. Oh, I see. Tyra Budge currently voices him. Okay. Louis. Continue on.
God, and how characters' parents would be like, not person know what Elmo's dad is, which is so amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going to say this for this is a wrap. Thank you so much for having here, Tyler. Really honor.
Yes, it's been an honor
and
having you on.
And yeah, thank you for having us. Thank you for being with us, and can't wait for what's going to happen for you in the future. Where if you're going to do more puppeteer or more voice actor for more shows, who knows? All right, unless if you guys wanted to want to say any voices that you want to do, but the last thing I'm gonna give as well, since we're about to wrap up, mostly the same question that mostly every podcast had the last question. If anyone wants to know what's your social media, if you guys want to follow him or whatever, where you can find.
So on Instagram, I believe I am Tyler_Bunch, all lowercase. And I think I'm pretty easy to find on Twitter. It's about the same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for Tyler,
To be honest. Anyway, so if you guys want to follow just Time Nostalgia Show or just me, Matthew, Chris, or Tyler, it's going to be in the description elsewhere.
And you guys should know that coming up mid-September, September, I believe it's 10th and 11th. There's going to be a Disney family reunion.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen yet. Continue on.
Which is going to be from McNeil's TikTok.
Yeah, part of LJPCBM coming soon. But you know what? That's just me. Continue on.
Yep. And that'll be the whole Bear in the Big Blue House cast, along with other
really amazing that the Bear Blue House
in the morning.
We'll be there.
You're gonna be a part of that. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
There. I really hope the more shows would be like that. Would be having a reunion like this. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this episode, and hope you guys will see more episodes of Chicks and Massage Show. And
yes, and a big thanks again to Tyler Bunch for being a part of the podcast.
See you next time for more. And some, or probably in the future, you might be back in the show. Who knows, Tyler? Thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed, and I really appreciate for the share and a like. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
So that was Jake's Snappy Nostalgia Show episode 4. Yes, excuse me, I misspoke. Tyler Bunch, puppeteer and actor. What did I think about this whole episode? It was amazing, with the exception of the fact of World and Pokemon stupidity. Anyways, guys, that was LJPCBM episode number 725. Now, man, excuse me, I gotta have some pizza for lunch. Stay tuned for the next one. It's gonna be LJPCBM episode 726. Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, episode 5. I'm not sure. It's probably a You Pick Live episode. We'll just see what happens. Till next time, this is goodbye. Peace out, baby. Give over to react to guys pretty soon. Till then, Jefferson out. See ya.
Given unto me this life I'll never take for granted, and given all the time I failed to really understand it, I never sought to meet the maker of reality, the one who gave the life that which is always happening, but I tried all the time. I ask, why me? Why was I the one to see things as I do under the moonlight and the sun? Perception is the question, and the giver holds the key.